Off to a good start.
Oh, you gotta love it when the music doesn't come through. I'm sure you can hear it through my mic, but not when I hit mute. Yeah, maybe we tried. We tried our best with the music. I'll get the music right later.
We'll fix
But
it.
anyway, we're live. This is you got the vulgar Uplander, Elslack here, hanging out with Swarley 129. What's up?
What's up? Yeah, not much.
Yeah,
just another day.
Just another day. Yeah. So we decided we're gonna do some co-streaming, some weekly show of sorts called the Neutral Zone. And we had music, but I couldn't get it to play because I'm probably half handicapped and it just didn't happen. But I'll fix that. I think I just have to download the file and make it pump through StreamYard or something. I don't know how any of this works.
Trial and error. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it'll get done eventually. I've never used StreamYard before, so this is the first time. This song, though, I mean, I got to listen to half of it, and it sounds amazing.
I can see you bopping away. I'm like, okay,
yeah, I was like, fuck yeah,
something's wrong.
And there's just nothing. Everybody's looking at me like, what is this guy doing? Fucking idiot. Anyway, yeah. So what's the premise of this whole thing? What are we doing here? You wanna kind of lead us off with?
Yeah, as we were saying before, so the idea of this show is not to have any format or structure or script or anything like that, like most other shows do. We're not a news show. Like, we'll discuss stuff that's been released in Upland recently, but we're not here to explain or go over new information or announcements and stuff like that. It's just a place for Uplanders to hang out and have a chat. Most places, like if you have a group of people, like say for instance work, and you all go out for a work function, chances are you end up spending half the night talking about work related stuff. So we're all Uplanders, so the one thing we all have in common is Upland. So no doubt the vast majority of our conversations will be Upland related, but not restricted to. So if people have any questions, as long as it's not too personal, I'd be more than happy to talk about it. And just hang out for, I don't know, half hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever works out.
Wherever it takes us, I guess.
So it would have been nice to be able to get some other players that we're regularly in contact with into here, but it's just so hard between the US, Australia, and the UK to get a time zone that suits all three. I think it's actually impossible, other than somebody getting up at some stupid hour just to hang out and have a mindless chat. So I can understand people not wanting to do that.
It might not be mindless. There might be some intriguing conversation. I don't know.
It could be try.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll make our best effort, I guess. But if anybody's listened to the bullshit I've put out before, it's mostly mindless. You're right. Sometimes I have something valuable to say. You never know.
Yeah, but that's the boring stuff, the valuable stuff. We want the mindless rants.
That's true. So just something that I thought was really interesting when I first started talking to you was that we both have a similar job.
We do now. So obviously you've mentioned quite a few times in your stream that you work for corrections. So I think you said you'd mostly deal with youths, I think. Which I would have the patience for, not in a million years. Adults are bad enough. So yeah, I'm privileged enough to work at probably what I would call the Hilton of jails in Australia. So it's a new sort of thinking jail where it's more about rewarding good behaviour than punishing bad behaviour. So it's a maximum security jail, housing people for life, murderers, all that sort of stuff. But it's more like a minimum security setup. So it's pretty cruisy most of the time. It can get a bit out of hand at times, but not too bad. But I've only been doing that for a few years. I only did that as a casual. I used to be a cop for 20 years and I just had enough of that, working too hard to get paid bugger all. So now I consider myself almost semi-retired, just doing a few shifts here and there, and being a casual lets me just work my hours that I want to.
Yeah. Man, going from being a cop to doing corrections, that's...
Yep. Didn't plan on it. It just sort of fell into it. It's just, you don't going from police, you don't really have a lot of skills that translate to other career paths, so to speak. So in corrective services, you pretty much just fall into it, and it's pretty simple. And compared to the workload I'm used to in the cops to going to corrective services, like I used to work, 14, 16-hour days just to get stuff done, and now I go to work and most of the time I sit around and do not a lot. Just answering inquiries from inmates that want everything straight away.
I get harassed all the time, maybe not all the time, but enough, asking me to, why don't you, be a cop or, join law enforcement. I'm like, man, I do not have a passion for that. I don't want to I don't want to do any of that shit. I don't want to go, run a beat. I don't want to go drive around doing cop shit. I'm happy to do what I'm doing, working with kids, trying to make a difference. Even though most of the time I feel like I just make things worse, but fuck it.
Yeah, it's hard work. It's definitely something someone's got to do it. Like, I admire the work they do. I wouldn't do it again. If I could go back to being 19, 20, I wouldn't do it again, but I don't regret doing it at the same time. But yeah, anyway, so enough about the boring stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fuck. How often do you get to fuck people up?
Not much.
You don't get to go hands on very often?
No, I used to a lot more in the cops than corrective services. Yeah, it's very hands-offy. Very rare.
Lately, the kids we've been getting are just super dumb, and they do some wild, reckless shit. Just last week, so actually right before Genesis live, I thought I was gonna get punched in the face for sure. I told this kid, he's like the super manipulator. I was like, bro, I'm not playing your games. I don't care about what you have to say about this situation. You're wrong. I'm not arguing with you about it. It's over. Move on. And I thought for sure he was coming over my desk and was going to punch me in my face. And I was like, fuck, the last thing I need is a black eye going into Genesis Live. But luckily he just took it like I hoped he would. And then he, went back to the unit and chilled out. But I work with a bunch of sex offenders, so they're all pretty soft.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
No, again, like I said, with the Hilton, the jail, so they know if they screw up, they usually get shipped out back to a normal jail, which most of them don't want. Some of them can't handle the fact that they live in like basically a dorm style with 25 or up to 24 other inmates, which for some people that's a little bit too much.
Yeah, that can be overwhelming.
Especially if you've been institutionalized, so to speak, into jails, and you're used to being in a 1 or 2 out cell, and now all of a sudden there's 25 years in one room.
Yeah.
So, but they get a lot of freedom with that, so they get to obviously move about in there. They got like their own little yard and kitchenettes and bathrooms and stuff. So, as far as jail life goes, it's pretty good. I mean, it's still not free world, but it's pretty good.
I mean, fuck, it's for being incarcerated. I mean, it probably doesn't get too much better than that.
Not in this country. I mean, I don't know about. I dare say I'd probably give the best jail in the US a run for its money, but I think there's a few jails in Europe that I think which it was based on might be a little bit nicer, so to speak. But again, it's still jail. At the end of the day, it's still jail.
Yeah, it's still
yeah, I take some sort of solace knowing that I get to go home at the end of each shift, where these guys are stuck there for months or years at a time.
Well, shit, man, that must be nice. It's probably low stress then.
Mostly, yeah.
Can you take your phone in? Any electronics? Okay.
No.
Yeah, neither can I. So like when I'm at work, man, I'm off. I can't get on Upland at all. I can't fuck around. I can't get on the website without them flagging it. They're like, "Oh, you're playing a game." I said, fuck.
I can't access Upland directly. There is a workabout, but we do have internet, but it has some sort of restrictions on it. But it's a PC. I can get onto Discord, and I can still chat with people at work. I can still watch a lot of the YouTube videos. Got Cheese's video, the short 7-hour one to watch, which I'll probably do that on my next night shift. Help me get through the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some reason the Upland site itself doesn't work at work, which is very annoying. But doesn't matter now because PC hunting is not a thing, so it wouldn't bother me anyway.
They said look, when I was there, when they did the AMA, they asked exclusively, "Hey, when is PC treasure hunting coming back?" And I quote you, their words were "very soon." And I know I messaged you about that, and you didn't believe me.
I thought I don't believe you. I 100%
Well,
believe
yeah,
that's
you don't
exactly what
believe
they
them,
said.
I guess I
I
should
don't,
say.
it's like when you ask your mum or dad, like, can we go to Macca's for lunch on the weekend? And they go, maybe. And you're like, okay, that means no.
Yeah, that's definitely a no.
Like, it's the same sort of thing. Like, I'll believe it when I see it. We've been hearing soon, and like the next round of totems are supposed to be soon. Like,
hey, they just gave you your scrotum potions. What more do you want?
and I didn't buy one and didn't touch them. I spent months just aligning them to have 2 different colors and only 2 different colors. Why would I start stuffing around and changing that again by spending more money to go from, orange one to something else?
Yeah,
Like,
fuck that.
I wanted to have all the same color. So I don't care that it was only 8 hours. I figured I'd go for the orange because nobody else would want them and it'd be the cheapest ones. So I ended up swapping and trading a bunch down to end up with, I think, 7 or 8 orange ones and 4 green ones. So 8 and 24-hour rotation. So assuming they don't change that on us. But I can manage that. You start at 8 in the morning, you've got one at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, which is just before I go to work, and then one at midnight, which I can do at work. And then back at 8 a.m. again. So you can make it work.
Yeah. I couldn't, when I saw those potions though, I was like, does nobody look at these things before they put them out? They look like a scrotum, do they not? Did you look at them?
I mean, you made me giggle when you said that. But once you see it, you can't unsee it.
No, you can't. And I was like, God dang it, why do they keep doing this? What is wrong with them? Yeah, I sold my totems for some land. I think I lost my ass in the deal, but
yeah, I saw that when you did that, and I was like, well, I wouldn't have made that deal. But hey, you got to learn.
Yeah, I'm fine. Look, I'm fine with making mistakes. That's part of the process. That's how you learn. Actually, I did sell one of those properties for $30K.
That's not too bad.
I got 2 more that I'm still sitting on. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Maybe I sell them. Maybe I don't. I'm not too worried about it, honestly. I took a chance with the totems, and I wasn't really feeling it. They were kind of more annoying than they were anything, and so even if I lose my ass on that, I mean, I don't care for that one at least.
You can't do everything in Upland, so you got to choose what it is. So
yeah,
I mean, James said the same thing. The totems just went for him. Fair enough. Like, you guys got your hands full with YouTube channels and trying to do tracks and other stuff. So we've all got our different things. I already spent a lot of time, or too much time, on Upland, so I figured, feeding a totem every 8 hours is not a big deal.
right.
But I may change that mind after the next round. I didn't really participate in the first round. I only did one totem. It turned out to be a blue one, which was a 36-hour feeding cycle, a day and a half or something like that. And so it wasn't a big deal. I didn't bother doing the rest because I just like, TML sums it up best. Like, the fact that you've got to do it and figure it all out and line it all up in itself was a gamified type action. To have to figure out what the schedules were and how much you had to feed it, that was just rubbish. So I sort of sat back and watched everyone else sort of figure it out and went, okay, I'm ready for next. And I've even got like a little spreadsheet up ready to go so I can have it all lined up. And that was done in January.
Yeah. The idiot in me keeps wanting to go and get another one. I'm like, man, maybe what if I just get another one and just get one and I just keep going with it? I don't know. Look, I might do it. You never know. I might get a wild hair at my ass and just go buy another fucking totem for no good reason.
What was it? Danny P 2000 was giving one away the other day just by liking his tweet X post. And
really,
yeah, he's got like 200 or something.
Fuck, that's a lot. How do you manage that? Like, you're not buying 200 because you're looking to do like you're not looking to run the cycles on those. They're just holding them for collection, right?
Well, he's got the shop, so he's selling them in the shop. He had a little script that allowed him to jump from one to the next to the next to the next. So instead of just clicking on them and having to scroll down and stuff like that. So I think he was planning on trying to feed most of them, but I don't know how you do 200. That's a full-time type job.
That's insane.
But if you picked one color, like definitely the greens, it's the same time every day. It's no big deal. Brown was 12 hours, so you could do that, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. or something like that. But your cheapest totem at the moment is $26. That's an orange one, so 8-hour cycle. But
that's not terrible. I think I had a green one and a red one.
Green one was, I think green was the best. 24-hour cycle, nice and easy.
Yeah.
Obviously, gold 48-hour cycle, every second day. But I'd forget. Like, if it's, to me, the 24-hour one says every day at the same time. Nice and simple.
Right. I had it set up at like 11 o'clock. So at 11 o'clock, I got to go to bed. I feed my totem.
Yeah.
Go to sleep. And that was just my routine every night.
And if you got one with the round base, you didn't even have to worry about that so much.
Yeah.
Because that had no penalties, apparently.
But anyway. Yeah, I didn't get that lucky. That was not me.
No, I had one. I gave it away. Because it was blue.
You weren't feeling the blue one?
No, I wanted the green ones because that was a 24-hour cycle. To me, that's simple.
What was the blue one?
36. So it was like 8 a.m. It was like 8 a.m. today, and then 8 p.m. tomorrow night, and then back and forth. So that one was like you had to sort of set a reminder type thing to. But Buellerman's little guide was pretty good help to sort of get you.
Yeah, that thing saved my ass. I think my red one was like 16 hours or something like that, and so that time was constantly fucked up, and it was very annoying. But I think that one gave me more Protum than the other one. Than the green one.
I think it's got more to do with the animal type. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Totems are stupid.
Yeah, but I'd like to grow a tree or something later on, so it'd be cool to have some life token or whatever they call it, stem.
Yeah, at some point. I have a little bit of Protum, which will turn to stem, and maybe I can grow
starting
a little garden or something.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm just eating a banana.
It's all good. That's probably all you need to start with anyway, just a little bit, and then go from there. I mean,
yeah.
All new players start with no spark, but they manage to get going. So,
hey, it's like in poker. All you need is a chip and a chair.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You ever gamble? You do any gambling?
I love man. I don't gamble a lot, but I mean, I'd play poker every day if I could. But
oh God, me too.
Online poker got killed a few years ago. I think your country sort of destroyed it, and Australia just followed suit because that's all we ever do, just follow everybody else. So
unoriginal bastards over there.
So yeah, I mean, I got a bit skeptical about online poker. You hear stories, and it's obviously come out that there's like the god modes and stuff like that. So, and you go down and play your local pub poker, and you're just too many idiots that just call with anything in the hope that they hit the river.
Oh God, I know that fucking drives me insane.
But you can't play proper poker, so and then you go to the casinos and you try and play a cash game, and like you take your $100 or $200, and some prick with 10 grand just doesn't give a shit, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll just.
That happened to me my first time in Vegas. The first time I played poker in Vegas, I'm sitting there playing because I love poker. I want like this authentic experience. And I sit down at the table. I don't have a lot of money, but I get up like, I don't know, $300 or $400. And this asshole in a fucking cowboy hat just is blowing through his money, right? He's calling every single hand. And he's like, people are taking his money left and right. But of course, once it's my turn to try to take his money, I get fucked. So I flop an ace high flush. And I'm like, money. I said, I'm not even going to play with this shit. I just want to buy this pot. I'm going to win it. I'm just going to buy it. I'm already up. I'm going to cash out here pretty quick. So I'm just going to take what I can get and go. So I bet big and whatever. A lot of people fold. I think like 2 people stayed in. Stupid asshole with the cowboy hat stayed in. I bet big again. The one guy folds, the cowboy hat asshole. He stays in. I just keep putting like money down. Like there's no way he's staying in, because what was on the table was nothing. I mean, it was dog shit. I had like ace 10 or some shit like that. He ended up getting a full house on the river to beat me.
the board paired. He had trips all the way.
Yeah, he had 2 pair until the river.
Oh, okay, 2 pair.
And so he was playing a pair and then a 2 pair while I'm just throwing down hundreds of dollars. And then he beats me on the river in a fucking game he should have never been in. I was so pissed. And then he did it to me again like 3 hands later. And I was just like, I'm done. Fuck this game.
No, I think where I like it best is tournament poker, because that's a more even playing field. Doesn't matter where you come from, you forget your money to start playing, and you're all on that level playing field.
Yes.
With the timer, so you can't just sit there and wait. Like, you got a timer that ticks away, and your blinds. Well, obviously, you got the blinds, and the antes will eat you away if you don't play. So it's on my bucket list. Whether it ever happens or not, I'd love to go play the main event one day and survive day one. That'd be my goal. Not to cash or anything like that. If he did that, that'd be awesome. But just to go to day one, I'd be probably super tight day one and just survive day one, and then day two, I'd be like, okay, now it's time to just play poker, and if you get lucky, so be it.
They were having a some kind of tournament down there, because I heard this guy talking about how he got through day one.
Oh, they have the Australian Open or the Australian one in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not, the real one's the main event.
Right.
That's the one you want to play. So to go there once, 3, 4, 5,000 people, however many turn up these days. I haven't watched it for a few years, but that'd be pretty amazing.
You ever did you know about the Upland like poker league thing they have?
Yeah, I played it for a little bit, but the platform they were using, I wasn't a fan of.
Yeah, I played a little bit too. I did okay in that.
Yeah, I was doing real well. And then one day I went to the bathroom, so I missed a couple of hands. I'm like, that's right, I'll just get blinded out for those hands. And then I came back and I was kicked out of the tournament. I was gone for too long, and I went from last to out without even playing. And I'm like, how does that happen? It was not the players I was with, it was the platform they were using.
Oh, it just booted you automatically?
Yeah, because I'd been AFK for like 10 minutes or something.
That's dumb. That's not that long.
I wasn't long that I was gone. I can't remember how long it was, but I mean, if you're in a tournament, it was only the one table, but I just went, that was that can't think what it's called now, the poker platform.
Yeah, I can't remember which one they use. I can't remember which one they use, but actually, I liked it. I had a good time playing on that. I won one of their tournaments, and it put me like, I don't know, like in the top 5 or something.
Yeah, I won one. I won a couple, and I was leading, but I never sent my address or anything to get paid out, so I don't really care. I just wanted to play. So I should send you a I got involved in another crypto project that does weekly poker tournaments, and I won a spare. You need an NFT to enter, and I've got a spare one. I should send it to you because I don't use it.
Called?
I'll send it to you offline.
Okay.
They've been building for ages. They're still pretty small, so whether it ever eventuates to something good or not.
I used to play all the time with Bitcoin. I played Seals with Clubs. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but that was like early on, because I was like, well, because you couldn't play for a long time. I couldn't play in Oregon where I live. They shut it down, so I had to use cryptocurrency to get around my need to play online poker. And so I had a bunch of different cryptos, and Seals with Clubs was one of the ones that let me play poker with Bitcoin. So I was like, fuck yeah, sign me up.
Bet you wish you still had it though.
All the Bitcoins. I screwed the pooch on the Bitcoin shit. Like I had one Bitcoin at one point, and I was young. This was like 2016, I think, maybe 2015. It wasn't that expensive, but it had dropped down to like $200 or whatever. And I was doing all kinds of, I was mining for it, and I had one. Anyway, so when it jumped back up to like $1,800, I was like, well, fuck, this is the best it's ever been. This is the highest. I need to capitalize and take my profits. And so I did at like $1,800. And I went and bought some like stuff for the house. My wife was really happy. And because she's always annoyed by all the technology shit that I do. I'm like, she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm mining for Bitcoin. It's free money. And so she's like, well, this is stupid. Your computer's on all day and it's loud. And so when I cashed out like $1,800, she was pretty happy about it. And then, like 2 months later, it's like shooting up, 5,000, 10,000, 10,000. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, it broke my heart. It damn near killed me.
I never got into it early days. So I did have a mate approach me, I think it was about 2010. So obviously very early days with Bitcoin. He approached me about mining Bitcoin, and I'm still in the cops at this stage. And I said to him, "What's that mean, mining Bitcoin?" He goes, "I don't really know. I think you hook your computer up to other computers and you get Bitcoin, like you take Bitcoin from other people." Something. I went, "No, that sounds a bit dodgy. I don't want to get involved in that. My mistake. Should have researched it a bit more. And I always had a gaming PC, so I could have been mining it, easily back in those days.
Yeah,
didn't. Shit happens. Just can't dwell on it.
Yep. Yeah.
So who knows where I would be today if I did mine it. But then again, I might have done a U and just sold it too early, or lost my key for it, or
yeah,
hear all those horror stories. So you can't dwell on it.
I got some other cryptos I can't find my keys for. They'll show up eventually, but I don't know. I don't know where the fuck they're at. So I'll find a way to retrieve them.
You're always hearing horror stories like some bloke in the UK that lost 30,000 Bitcoin on a hard drive that he accidentally threw out, and he wants to dig up the tip or something to get them all back. Or
right. God, that's terrible.
Oh yeah, I'd struggle to find the will to live if I did that.
Yeah, for real. Oh man. I'm looking at. Do you got any new? How is the treasure hunting going for you?
Treasure hunting's chugging along. They're talking about spending, hoping to get money out of it or something. Like my missus is super supportive, and I spend obviously many hours every day treasure hunting, usually in front of the TV with her and stuff like that. But I refer it to as going back to work,
right?
In the hope that one day it's all for something and not naught.
Well, fuck with Sparklet, man. You don't know what that's going to turn into.
Like, I have this pipe dream, and whether it probably never happened, but the pipe dream that one day I'll be able to sell all my Spark, or a fair chunk of my Spark, and pay off my house. Is that possible?
It's not impossible.
Well, it's more likely than getting a lotto ticket, winning lotto. That's for sure.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, shit. Imagine if. So it's gonna. You have how many Spark do you have right now?
56, 57, something like that.
56 or 57. So that's going to be what, 57,000 Sparklet?
Yeah, some.
And then if Sparklet's what, 40 something cents? I'm not a mather, but let me see.
Okay, I don't understand what the rules are of Upland. I know the other broadcasters have been told not to talk about price too much.
Oh,
we're conditioned to think of one Sparklet as 46 cents. So
about 46 cents.
Spark. So without talking about price, I suspect that when it is launched on a platform, that Spark will plummet.
I think so. At first.
How far down? I don't know. 50%, 80%, who knows? But if that's a gaming token on an exchange and starts showing up on CoinMarketCap and all those sort of places, is it impossible for a coin to 100x? Absolutely not. Especially if Upland starts getting the recognition that it deserves. I mean, if Decentraland and Sandbox keep getting mentioned in everyone's conversations about metaverses, but yet Upland never has, 100x isn't out of the realms of possibility. So even if it was to drop to a small amount, 100x from there, you're talking a few dollars a Sparklet. It's possible.
Oh yeah, and then who knows where you're sitting at? Then that might change the game.
Yeah. I think it'd just be like any other cryptocurrency. It'll go up to a certain amount, and then the bubble will burst and everything will come down 70, 80% like it does every 4 years, and buy back in at a cheaper price, and away we go again for another 4-year cycle.
Yeah, you just got to be opportunistic when the time comes.
So I mentioned before that, I only started Upland 2 years ago, and for the first year or so, it was like they kept nerfing treasure hunting every other week. which was frustrating from a treasure hunting point of view, with all the the arrows been changing and different things. But you could see purely just from the sales of properties and stuff that a lot of treasure hunters were leaving the game or leaving the treasure hunting altogether, and I can't blame them for it. My missus was doing a little bit of treasure hunting, and she doesn't do it anymore. Now,
it's a pain in the ass.
You got to have a decent web to make it worthwhile, but it's possible. It's still definitely possible, depending on your time and whatnot. But to me, the silver lining is, well, if less people are treasure hunting, there's less spark getting released. So, in theory, excluding Abdullah, in theory, making spark more rarer, therefore mine more valuable. That's the way I was looking at it and go, well, if that's the silver lining, that's the way I would look at it. Like, I'm up there with the spark, but I'm far from being number one. I mean, there's some players up there. I think the number one treasure hunting type player up there being Expedia is like 130, something like that, 140.
And Abdullah's sitting on like 2,000 or something. Yeah, but
he's not hunted. He's bought all these. Yeah. So I'm just talking about people that predominantly probably hunt theirs. I mean, I do upwards between 80 and 100 hunts a day, but some of these players are doing 120, 150, 200 a day.
How the fuck do you got time for that? I get annoyed after doing like 5. I'm like, how? I was when I first started hearing about you doing all these treasure hunts on Ben's podcast, and I was like, all right, I can do like 10. I can do 10 a day, maybe 20 a day, right? And then I get through like 5. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. How do you do like 80 a day?
Every day.
How the fuck do you do that?
Pretty much every single day. Some days it can be a drag. Don't get me wrong. I'm lucky that I can do it from work. Again, I'll explain. There's a roundabout work way. I'll tell you off air how I do that.
Yeah.
It's not illegal. It's not I'm cheating Upland or anything like that. It's just the setup I've got going that allows me to do it. But it can be a drag, but I just keep focusing on, I've invested and bought all these properties. I've created a web. Initially, it was in Queens. I've now moved over to Washington.
Because it's smaller?
Because it's smaller. It's a lot more expensive, but it's smaller. And these players are... Sorry?
I said that could pay off too.
Oh, 100%. I'm not looking to sell these properties. Like, chances are I'll probably never sell my Washington property. They'll probably die with the game. That's the way I see it.
But what if you get the White House?
You and I will never get the White House.
But what if you do? If you got the White House, would you sell it, or would you die?
There's only one player in the game I think would have the funds to even throw an offer at worth selling the house. He hasn't bought a property in several months. The next biggest player being Dizzy, would he buy the hat? Like, you're talking 50 plus million UPX. I don't know, like what it's worth.
Unless they just give it away.
They'll give it away, probably, but...
Oh, yeah, but you're talking about, like, if you were going to sell it, who would buy it? You're right. I see what you're saying.
Like, you're not going to sell for 2 or 3 million UPX. It'll mint for... I mean, I don't know. We could go figure it out, probably, because it'll be... I'm guessing part of that legacy collection in Washington. So you could probably figure out via the mint price, by the UPX size. I don't know, but then it might have its own special price. What Upland used to do ages ago, and they haven't done this for a long time, is they used to auction these off. So you get players like Abdullah and Dizzy, and that will go in there, and they would just bid each other, and they'll get to millions of UPX. And that was the mint price, whatever they end up paying for it. And then they went, okay, well, we need to put a ceiling on this. So they end up going, all right, well, now the ceiling's 17 million. They'd still get to 20 million. But once you start getting over that 17 million, then you're starting to pay above the mint price for it. So it doesn't become as profitable. But when you factor in 2 point something multiplier, if it had a mint price of 17 million, you can still pay it up to 34 million for it and still be in the plus.
Yeah. I guarantee that. I bet that one's gonna be like a monument where they do like the LaSalle Stadium. I bet the White House turns into a monument.
Probably. I almost guarantee that will.
Yeah.
I don't even think Upland themselves would have a clue of how they're going to give it away just yet. They'll be waiting for ideas until something goes ding, and they go, "This will be awesome." It'd have to be used to get some sort of coverage and new players or something in the game. But yeah, I don't think there's a player in the game that wouldn't dream about owning it. I can't think of anything in the world that would beat it as desirable. I mean, you've got the Louvre in Paris, which
Buckingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace would be up there. And Sydney's got the Opera House, big deal. As awesome as it is, it's not on the same level as those couple of places.
Yeah.
I mean, Eiffel Tower would be another one in Paris. Would be amazing to own.
That would be really cool.
And that would be, imagine being able to climb up that and then look over the city and see all the buildings and like that meta.
Yeah.
Or maybe bungee jump off it or something. Virtual bungee jump.
Yeah, because I mean, all of those monuments that they're talking about, I would imagine that all of these these like major structures are all going to be monuments, and all of them are going to be an experience in the game, which is what they were talking about at Genesis Live. Monuments aren't just going to be like something that you own; it's going to be an experience that you're going to work with the team to build in game, which would be, I think, pretty rad. But I don't know what you would do though.
But that, when you think about it, like you think of all the different monuments that could be in the game, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a lot of work and
stupid expensive.
Yeah. So I can't see it being an explosion of monuments.
Yeah.
I'll have to wait and see. Again, they put out that tweet today. I don't know if you saw it. Where is it? I just had it up.
A tweet
or an X post. I don't know what we're supposed to call them.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you call these. What is happening here?
Actually, we can go over this.
What's that?
Yeah. Let me try something.
Okay.
Share screen. Share. All right, so we can share this. I don't know if it's coming through.
I have to stay. There it is.
All right, so this is Upland's.
Their website, or their Twitter page.
There you go. So this is the one I'm talking about. So they put this tweet out today. I think it was today. Might have been. Yeah, 18th of June. So, 2,500 views. So it's getting eyes, which is good.
Yeah.
But, we're constantly building and making better future for Upland. What would you like to see built next? Now, this question gets raised all the bloody time.
Right.
We'll just go straight past Ben and I. Who cares about what we say?
What do you say? I want to know. I care a little bit. Like this one.
Utility for Spark. Like, I've been banging on the ornament challenge. I'd like to see a bit more thought and effort put into the ornament challenge other than just 1 point per, property. That's a collection. I think there should be a reward for owning a better collection. So if you've got an ultra rare versus a blue collection, it should be worth more points.
Yeah,
and if you've got an apartment building versus an apartment versus a micro house, of course, the apartment should be worth more points than a micro house. I mean, a micro house can be built in a day.
Yeah,
even at max spark, an apartment still takes a week or something to build.
Mm-hmm.
So you can build 7 micro houses to one apartment, something along those lines. Don't quote me exactly on that, but
right.
And then you got Shacklin, who's absolutely killing it anyway. And I was having a look at her account, and she doesn't have many micro houses. So even if they did change the rules and make it like that, she'd still slaughter me in this challenge.
Right.
I think she would slaughter all comers no matter what they did to the challenge. She's so far ahead. But yeah, so basically, like Ben wanted, like he always bangs on about, wanting the some sort of better tool management.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go through reading this, a lot of people, it's all the same thing, like advanced property management, being able to manage your assets and stuff better. Because I think there almost needs to be 2 accounts. Like for people like Ben and other people that create stuff, there needs to be like a personal and a business side of your management. So when you're creating all these assets in the factory, they're in your business folder, and you can send them off to be sold or whatever. But you got your own personal collection that aren't there for sale, and you can manage those instead of everything being lumped into one big folder, and it's just a nightmare.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Like the most basic thing that I've been thinking about just the other day, I was looking through. I had to do a swap for a property. I don't know. I didn't win anything, but
I know what you're saying.
One of my buddies was like, "Hey, we'll do a swap. I'll give you this Granada Hills property. Just give me one of your, burner properties." And I'm like, well, fuck, which one of these has a building on it? And I could not remember. And so even if there was something on there that just said this one has a building or this one doesn't, just some kind of symbol or something would help immensely.
Try having 2,000 or 3,000 properties and not being
I know. I'm sitting on fucking almost 200 and it's a problem for me.
They've only just put in the search field for property swap, so you can now do that. So I can click on your property and offer a trade and then go and search the address of my property if I know what it is in my head. So that's made that a lot easier, but you still can't do that for collections. And that is so bloody annoying. Yes. And I wonder if that's a deliberate way of them saving a little bit of optics. Because I know for personal, like I'm sure I could optimize my collections a bit better, but I just could not be fucked. It's just too hard to find a property and stick it in the right collection.
Well, have you used the collection optimizer?
Yeah, but it'll tell you put this address in this collection. So the problem comes down to the more common collections. So when you're looking at your city collection, so the 5 properties from a city, I've got that set as Queens. So I've got some bigger properties in Queens with factories on it. But now that I've got properties in these more expensive cities like Washington, for example, it almost makes more sense to move it to Washington. But when you go to fill that property in, you take them all out and then go to put it in, you've got to scroll down your 2,500 properties or whatever it is to find the one that you want. And that's assuming you can find it.
Well, I think you can. Can't you just type in?
No.
You can't.
Not for collections. Not yet. You can for swaps, like you were talking about before. There was one I saw here. Where was it? Chase Berry. I've been waiting for car ornaments for years. Turn any vehicle into the Batmobile. I like the idea.
That would be sick.
I like the idea. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, there's too much IP.
Copyrights.
But that would be awesome. Even if you could make like some knockoff version, like a Temu version of a Batmobile would be pretty awesome.
Or just your own version. I mean, these creators like D-Tech and Tosset and stuff, some of the stuff they pump out is pretty amazing. So
yeah, it is.
Casino. Actually, I believe they were talked about having like even poker as part of Upland, but I think they got, this was before my time, but I pretty much think they got boo-booed straight away because Upland didn't like, well, there was issues with the gambling aspect of playing poker and playing for UpX and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that causes problems with maybe the App Store.
I just think it's licensing for gambling and it's already 18 plus. So I don't know about the App Store, but I don't know. But having said that, Upland have managed to introduce their own gambling aspect of the game. So that
would be awesome if they had a first-party gambling option. I would be all over that.
Well, they do. Like if you want to buy one of these bundle packages and maybe have 200 chance of getting a landmark, like they've introduced their own gambling to the game without having gambling in the game. When I was reading through this, I think the most common one I saw was Spark withdrawal or the maybe transparency. Spark or the property management side of things were the two main things people. It's amazing how people don't want something new; they just want what we've got, but better. I think that's the gist of, and that's what Upland aren't listening to. I think, in my opinion.
Well, so when we're at Genesis Live, all that stuff came up, and they said yes, we are thinking about it, we are talking about it. It's just a matter of being able to implement it. And they said what we're doing is essentially something I've been saying a little bit. It's novel. It's brand new. Like nobody else.
Yeah, I get that.
Nobody's been doing it. That we're paving the road for everybody else. And some of it just comes with time. And then of course, and they were talking about they have a list. Like they have their list of things that they need to do. And then some. Let's just say like some new part, like the sandbox thing comes up, right? And then all of a sudden, this thing gets moved to the top of the list, and then that thing needs to take priority because maybe there's a small window that you got to hit. So then other important things get pushed down, and then they talked about needing to be opportunistic and weighing the options between, like, you know, some, they weren't saying like functionality, but some things that are important versus other things that may come that you weren't expecting to come, but you have to take advantage of the opportunity. So it's a convenient excuse if you want to look at it that way, but I mean, I genuinely believe, like, yeah, that does make sense, and I can see how that would be.
So the issue I have, okay, so let's just bring this down to the smallest denomination type thing. Let's look at transport in the game currently with motor vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
They've been in the game now since pretty much when I started, so they've been about the same time. So we've had cars, and we haven't been able to use them pretty much other than the racing, which I don't race. So we still don't have the proper functionality for that 2 years after they're introduced. Truck owners still don't even have their trailer parts for the trucks.
Yeah.
We don't even have the ability to charge our vehicles up with Spark, which is supposed to happen. But we're now getting introduced planes. Like, how about fix and get what we've got working first, and then move on to something else, rather than keep introducing. That's the frustration I have with some of the things that go on in Upland. I get that it's all new and they're all creating new things, but sometimes we don't need new things. We just need working properly to retain the people that we have.
Especially if you want to keep retention.
How does
you want people to stay in the game. I mean, if they don't know what the fuck they're doing, or it doesn't make sense, or people don't understand why you can't do X, Y, or Z, that makes it difficult for people to want to stick with something.
But we're a map-based game. How does a car not follow the road?
You would think that would be an easy solution.
Well, it's probably not. I mean, Google's probably not just going to give away their, travel guide or whatever. But I like the idea of, like, you're in a car driving from San Francisco, say, to Oakland. So I don't know if that's the Golden Gate Bridge. I don't know San Francisco that well.
Yeah. But no. There's Oakland to San Francisco is the San Francisco Oakland Bridge. Yeah. And the Golden Gate Bridge is.
Well, let's just say you own that bridge in Upland, and the car's got to pay a toll to travel across that bridge. It might be 20 UPX just to drive across it. Like, but at the moment, you drive across the bay.
Right. Or, like whenever I travel from Chicago to Detroit, because I just leave my car in Chicago, I fly to Chicago and then just drive from Chicago to Detroit. I'm driving right through the Great Lakes. It's awesome. So those boat cars.
I mean, that's only minor things. Obviously, it doesn't affect us. I mean, Shaq learned the hard way. You should be able to cancel your drive as well. If you.
Oh, for real.
Like, I mean, you don't hop in your car with a destination in mind and then go, "Oh, I can't stop till I get there." Like, you pull over for fuel or a toilet break or something to eat. Like, or you might even change your destination halfway through. We're not going to make it tonight. We'll stay here and go the next day. Like, so how you can't? I get you can't get on a commercial plane and go halfway. Oh, actually, I don't want to go anymore. I want to go back to where I started from. Like, that's not going to happen. But your own personal vehicle, you should be able to cancel it or reroute it or something like that.
Yeah, when the Genesis Week events were happening, and I sent my car, I didn't want to fly anywhere because I was trying to save my money. So I'm like, I'll just drive everywhere. Which was fine, but then I was like, I should do some treasure hunting, and I couldn't because I was driving and I couldn't cancel it, and I was like on a 13-hour drive across the United States. I was like, fuck. So I couldn't. Nothing I could do about it. I was just screwed.
Like 36 hours like Shaq did.
I know.
Being a treasure hunter, I will use my car from Washington to New York. It's an hour, so I know that now. So I can go to any of those 5 boroughs up there, and if I want to go to a shop and buy something, so I just got to factor that in. So if I got an hour drive there, an hour drive back, so I can fit that in a day, no dramas. What I can't do is drive from Washington to, say, Lake Tahoe, because that's like a 20-something hour drive, or 13, 15-hour drive or something. So, and obviously then I can't treasure hunt if I do that. So anyway,
I'm just harassing us.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Can you see the chat?
I wasn't in there, but I am now.
Oh, okay.
New tag, epic. New tag there.
Ben, you can come join us. Where's that? Fucking, is this link in here?
I'm not sure that he will, but
I doubt he will. But it just reminded me to put that link in there. I don't care where it's at.
At work, yeah.
Oh, at work. Well, keep the volume low.
3:30 in the afternoon for us. Yeah. No, he'll be doing. And when he gets home from work, he'll be getting ready for his show tonight. He does the Block Beat one tonight.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So he'll be getting prepared and putting that together. So.
And that's when I'll listen to when I wake up in the morning, and I'll drive my happy ass to work listening to that, the Block Web Beat.
Yeah, that's where I tend to listen to most of my stuff.
Do you have a long drive to work?
45 minutes for me, so not as long as you.
Well, still, I mean, that's a decent drive still.
Yeah, it's from one town to the next, so it's about 35 kilometers. I don't know what that is in miles.
Maybe like 50 miles. I don't know.
20
long enough.
Yeah, like I said, it's about a 45-minute drive on average. So long enough. It's not too bad though.
Yeah, I get a lot done. Part of me, I'm thankful I have such a long drive because I get a lot of podcasts in. I listen to. Oh, nice. I get a lot listening to Ben's podcast, another podcast that I'm on the fence about now, and then I'll listen to
Goldie every night.
If I got time, I'll listen to More Cheese or Shacklin, but I also got to sneak in my Metaverse Millen YouTube stuff when I have internet on my drive, and then my Joe Rogan podcast. I got to make sure I get that in.
I keep meaning to probably start checking him out, but I haven't yet.
Oh man, I fell in love with. I hadn't listened to it ever, but I would see like clips and stuff on it all the time, and man, the Joe Rogan podcast has taken me down some serious rabbit holes that I wasn't prepared for, and it's been really great. Like my whole philosophy on AI and aliens and conspiracies. I was not this guy, but I am now.
He does a bit of everything, doesn't he?
Yeah. He'll talk to everybody with, and he's willing to change his opinion. He doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, it's awesome. That's exactly the kind of stuff I want to listen to. I don't want to listen to like some one-sided view. I'm pretty open-minded, so I want to hear all of it.
Yeah, I think I've heard one or two when he's interviewed crypto type people, talking about Bitcoin and the future of it and stuff like that. But check out Sean Ryan, recommended.
Okay, Sean Ryan.
I'd like to have a look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I need to get some new material or new content because I'm getting a bit sick of the ones that I have been watching. They're a bit.
What have you been watching?
I used a lot of crypto stuff, so that's where my background. Not so much background. I didn't get into crypto until 2020, but that's where I sort of started. And started watching a lot of. I knew nothing about the world finances and crypto or anything like that in 2020, and I just started watching a lot of YouTube videos. And next thing I know, I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I tend to know more about the US economy than I do my own freaking finances. So
yeah,
the more I learn, the more I understand, the scarier I realize that the world is. And just it blows my mind. It blows my mind that a country can have more debt than what the country's worth. Like, how's that even possible?
We're a bunch of fucking idiots. That's how it's possible.
Like, if you sold everything you own, you still can't pay off the debt that you owe.
No. But
like, how does that make sense?
It doesn't make any sense. And then they just keep printing more money, and then they'll go piss it away on foreign conflict and all this other bullshit that doesn't matter. oh my God, we got hungry people in America that are just, I mean, for the love of God, look at fucking Detroit. That place is a wasteland. Fuck them. I mean, there's a whole section of like Detroit that's just not policed. Like, it's not, they just do whatever the fuck they want. And we're just like, cool, man, hands off. But we're out here, you know, saving
other countries.
Is
that because manufacturing is not as big as it used to be or something? Like, obviously Detroit was big with motor vehicles.
Yeah. So, that whole thing just kind of took a big old dump. And then they started, I think, sending work elsewhere. And
actually, speaking of common jobs, have you watched any of the documentaries on the El Salvador jail?
No.
So the new maximum security, I think 40,000 bed type jail. It's not really beds. You have to go Google that stuff. Not Google, but YouTube it or something. It is the opposite to where I work. So obviously,
is that
I'd be surprised if you hadn't. Being
is it with like all the MS-13 gangs and all that shit? Yeah. That's a crazy ass jail there. No, thank you.
There's people from my work that want to go there, and I'm like, nah, you can have that. Absolutely not.
So where I'm working at now, I work in Tillamook, which is actually coincidentally where I was born and raised, which is on the coast here in Oregon in the United States. But the facility that owns me, because I'm just on loan, they're loaning me out to this other facility to do this job. The facility that owns me is a fucking shit show. We have people getting assaulted every single day. We got escapes. We have just recently one of our staff got spiked with acid and cocaine in their drink. They had to get hit with Narcan. All kinds of crazy shit. It's really, really reckless. Where I've been working for the last 7 years, and I was like, get me the fuck out of here. And so I went to Tillamook, which is so much nicer. I don't have to worry about any of that shit.
Is that why you got the 1 hour drive there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I said, I'll do this 2 hour drive all day long, every day, double that drive. I'll still do it if it means I don't got to go back to this shit show.
Do you do 8 hour shifts?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do 12s. So that makes the longer drive a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. I was doing 10s at the other facility, but I don't give a fuck. Yeah. They could call me back whenever they want and I have to go, but I'm just praying that I don't have to go back anytime soon.
Try again for that job when it comes up again, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, if it comes up again, I'll get it. I'm pretty certain of that at this point.
Hey, I getting back to Upland. I didn't catch anything last week about the drop.
I made a video about it.
Maybe I did. I just don't remember.
I heard you and Ben talking about that, and I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I said some shit. It sucks. It fucking blows. Hold on.
It sucks, but having said that, like, it sucks because it's just the same thing again and again and again. But at the same time, it was actually probably the best property background cards that we've got so far.
And that's what I said.
That's my take on it, and I was like, I don't hate these, but it's the same shit, and I want something different. Like you keep saying, I want it to evolve and improve and get better weekend, like not weekend, but from season to season or something. But
yeah, so that's what I said. I said, look, how many of these fucking things can you possibly need?
This comes back to the management tools, because now this is getting bigger and bigger. Imagine having hundreds of block explorers like some players do. Yeah.
I mean, at some point, the fucking Explorer overlays, we're going to have an abundance of these, which I don't know. These things are fine. They're kind of, especially the ones that move. Those are whatever. Not the greatest thing I've ever seen in the world, but whatever.
I've never equipped any of them.
They're neat to some degree. But then you go down here to these fucking stupid backgrounds, these explore backgrounds. You can't hardly see them, so they're pointless. And then the property card backgrounds are, especially these last ones. These last three look really nice.
Yeah, I don't mind them.
But
I reckon if I was at Genesis Week, I'd be more inclined for that one of the middle one you got there, like because it looks like an in-person event type one. Yeah, that one.
I did have this one for a while, and I just switched it up because if I have it, I might as well use it.
Yeah, the Bermuda ones are nice. Like, I quite like them, but
yeah, I think it's the best art yet.
Yeah,
and if this is what the expectation is, I need to shut my mouth and just deal with it, because this is the best it's going to get. This is just how it is. But when X1 says, "Oh, you're gonna love the fucking the Genesis ones, and this is the sort of shit we get," I'm like, no, I don't love any more of the same crap. At some point, we're gonna have so many of these fucking things that you can't even use all but one. You can only use one at a time. If like, say I could put this one in Detroit and this one up here in LA or something, that would be kind of cool. That'd be a pretty neat idea. Just have them like based by city.
Different city, yeah. Oh yeah, not a bad idea.
But
I wonder how hard that is to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I would think maybe not that hard, but again, I don't know. But that would be kind of cool if you had a wide variety of them. I could see a utility for that. But if you can only do one, how many fucking things do I need? I don't need that many. I don't need this many. I can tell you that right now. Anyway, it is what it is.
I was disappointed there wasn't a bonus drop at G Week.
Yes, I agree with that.
Halving one. Actually, speaking of something that annoys me and I'd love to see change, I'll share this again. I mean, I could talk you through it or I could just share. I guess it doesn't really matter. Share screen. Keep losing it. Alright, so me being a treasure hunter and often on a PC or often playing around, like when I'm drifting to a property, I get bored. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 minute drift, and I'll be just clicking on a property because I'll be looking at, like, just say I'm drifting now towards a chest, and I'll click on this one to get my arrow, and I'll be like, oh, there's a new player. Actually, he's not a new player. He's a decent player. I like to look at their profile like this and go, oh, he's got 20 collections. Not a huge player. Director, so it's under 10 million. And then you got these collections, and you scroll down. Like, sometimes I just want to see, like, they've got like one ultra rare, and I'm like, okay, I wonder what ultra rare they got. And you look down, and like, you can't, because there's so many now.
Yes.
Why can't we just have an option? There should be 3 options here. There should be one where it's just field collections, so you can just look at the ones that they've, and this can go for your account as well. Ones that you've filled, but no longer have active, like these lighter colored ones.
Right.
And bit like when you go to a crypto exchange site and you look at your wallet and you have that button, hide wallets with a balance of 0, so all the coins that you don't own just disappear, and all you've got are the 3, 5, 10 coins that you do own. Something along that lines, where you just disappear all the collections that you don't own and just show the ones that you do, so you can have a sticky beak at someone's account. It's a big player. I don't know, maybe
yeah,
not.
that wouldn't. I don't feel like that would be difficult at all. They already have filtering options on other things. Just add it to that screen.
So when you go, so my problem is, and I've been selling out of Queens a little bit so I can buy into Washington a bit more. So if I go and look at my, how am I doing this? Mental bloke. Yeah. So if I lose a collection, I don't necessarily. It doesn't give you a warning that you've unfilled a collection because I've sold a property and it doesn't match. Yeah. So I just got to keep an eye on it and look at it and see what's disappeared, so to speak. But I'd love an option to just be able to choose that and go to the field ones. And I know, like my Manhattan one, I've never really owned Manhattan. That was me just flipping. I think I bought 3 properties, filled the collection, and flipped them straight away when I was a bit short of UpX.
Yeah,
a few weeks ago. But so many grey ones, and this me with 100 and something collections. Like, there's still way more collections I don't own. I'd love to be able to look at this a little bit easier and be able to go through it. a little bit
or
nicer.
at the very least, just minimize each one.
Yeah, like I said, there should be 3 options, so you can the whole lot, just field collections, or just field but no longer active type collections, so you can see what has come unfilled. Because when you go to the collections itself, to do each city one by one and to work out how sluggish it is. So now I've got to go back because Queens is where my problem is, because that's where I'm sort of been selling stuff.
Well, I think it's obvious that Upland hates us, and that's why they do this.
Well, I don't think they're motivated to try and make collections filling as easy as possible. So this is my problem, right? So if I wanted to fill the Queens collection, just say I had a particular in mind, property in mind, there's no option to. I don't want to unclick it, because if I unclick it, then I might not be able to find it again.
Right.
But it's exactly the same. There's no option here to click the search for the property, and you got to scroll down. And like, I'm by no means a big player. I've only got 1,500 properties or something. But still, trying to find one, and it's not in any order at all. It's not in any. There's no method to the madness. It's absolutely completely randomized. So it's. Yeah, used to be able to do this. Used to be able to go search 101, something like that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do that anymore. So you used to be able to put the address in there, and if you scroll to the bottom, it'll just find it and you go straight to it. But for some reason and I've tried different browsers, it doesn't work on any browser.
Yeah, that's really annoying. And I feel like it wouldn't be that difficult.
No, not that wouldn't be.
To just, even if they put like just like another, like how much UPX it earns, and then you just sort by that, highest to lowest.
If it was just sorted by any method at all.
Any method.
Size, big to small, numbers, like any method whatsoever. Like it didn't. They could just come up with a stupid like property number, like you know how each property's got its unique identification number,
right?
Which you can get like when you go to UPX Land. It definitely is in Upland as well. I don't know enough about the backgrounding and program of it to really say it, but like I don't care how they organise, as long as it was organised one way or the other, and you could then at least you could scroll down and find it.
I mean, they say this stuff is coming. They say it's not falling on deaf ears. They talk about it all the time.
Yeah, so as Macca's on the weekend, maybe.
Yeah.
Or as Buellman says, one day, maybe, possibly, hopefully, eventually.
Someday, never. Yeah.
Well, not never. Like I think they will get there
eventually.
But again, PC treasure hunting coming back. I really, 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 really hope it does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how
you'll pick up your amount of treasure hunts in a day if they bring back PC.
It's not so much picking up the amount; it's the time that it takes for me to do what I get done. That's where I found that my time when they took away PC, it almost doubled from what I was doing. I find the mobile very laggy.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
What kind of phone are you using?
I've got an iPhone, which Upland doesn't like.
Fuck! You're an iPhone guy.
My ex-wife had one, and I got one, and I've had one now for 15 years.
Oh God!
It's too hard to change when you've had one for
so long. It's not that hard to change. All you gotta do is just be like, "Look, I'm done." You go to your provider and you say, "Look, it's time for a change."
And get a Galaxy or something.
Yeah, I mean, look, I had been a Samsung guy, I don't know, for probably 10 years now. I have an iPhone for work and I fucking hate it. It's a piece of shit. I never want to use an iPhone if I can avoid it. I've broken 3 of them at work. I'm glad nobody that I work with listens to this shit, because they might report me. I've broken 3 of these fucking phones because they pissed me off so bad. Well, that's not entirely true, but I've broken 3 of them. So I was a Samsung guy, and so I wanted to get the new folding phone for Samsung, and they said, we don't have it in yet. I said, you know what, fuck it. Give me the Google one. So now I got this Google phone that folds. I got the foldy Google phone.
Oh yeah.
And this thing is fucking great.
I feel like the screen would crack in that middle eventually.
It doesn't.
Eventually, one day, maybe.
Eventually, one day, maybe. I keep trying. The other one I had the Samsung one, the Fold one. All these people had issues with it. I never once. But I take care of my electronics because I'm an adult. Unless it's my work phone, fuck that thing. Because it's an iPhone. But Android, high quality shit. And they don't have to deal with all the bullshit. My phone works great with Upland. Upland looks great. Especially when I unfold this thing and I got this massive screen. It's super sexy.
To be fair, I probably do 2% of my Upland on my phone.
Look at this. But this would make treasure hunting so much better. If it was
it does look better than my phone. That's for sure.
Yeah, it does. It's a little fucking tablet in my hand that I can fold, and then it's a normal size phone.
You're selling me. I'm interested.
Yeah, it's marvelous.
In about 3 years' time, I'd be due for an upgrade, so I'll have to look into it more. To be fair, the only thing that really super annoys me is like if I wake up in the morning and I'll see that there's a notification like Upland have released something overnight or announcement or something, and I'll go to the chat because now they don't put it in Discord. I used to just go to Discord, but they're not doing that anymore. Mm-hmm. Well, not for everything anyway. And I'll go to chat, and it does not work in the chat on the iPhone. As soon as you try and load up the iPhone chat, it crashes.
Oh, that would piss me off real bad.
So outside of that, it's not too bad. But like I said, I don't treasure hunt on my phone. Well, very rarely. I still do it on the PC using an emulator. But it's just really laggy.
We should see if there's any bullshit in here worth
let's do that.
Responding to. Because I know we're getting a little long in the tooth here. Might as well get to this before I forget. So this is something I just started doing recently just for fun. I just thought it'd be interesting. But sometimes people post the dumbest shit in here, and it's really funny to me.
I think that people with the genuine questions are in Discord in the right channels, asking the right questions to the right people.
Right.
These are people that don't know about, generally speaking, don't know about Discord, I'm guessing, which is why Upland are trying to get it over here.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to have seen, I don't know how hard it would have been, I would like to have seen some sort of integration with Twitter or X now, but where it's sort of all linked together and the conversation, you can DM people via Twitter, basically, but in game. I would have liked to have seen that more than them building this out. But this, I don't use it. I haven't really used it much myself yet, but it doesn't seem horrible.
Right. Yeah, I've actually really been. I don't ever use the general chat. Well, that's not true. I've used it very, very little, but I don't really ever fuck with it. I do like reading it though, because I think some of the things people say in here are funny.
Well, I've never read it until you started doing and I'm like, I like that.
I never use Reddit. Unless we're talking about porn. That's a whole different story. There's so much porn on Reddit. It's ridiculous. Had no idea.
I don't use Reddit, full stop.
Me neither. One day my buddy was like, hey, you ever use Reddit? And I go, no. He's like, there's so much porn on Reddit. Same with Twitter. Had no idea. I thought Twitter was just for stupid messages. And then he's like, nope, there's a ton of porn on there. I'm like, well, that's weird. And then, of course, he talked about it. So then the internet heard me. And then I get weird messages from people wanting me to look at their porn.
There's a genuine question, assuming they're a newbie, that Clay Woodruff.
How can I trade some of my legits to someone for a cheap property? That is a great question.
Well, assuming that they're a newer player and not too familiar with swapping and trading and stuff like that. So, obviously, burner trade to get rid of the legit. And then there's a lot of trust involved in that, but it requires two burners if you're doing it. So, burner property and then a burner legit or burner any item, to be fair. That's not a property. So,
for the longest time, I didn't even know what a burner was. When people were talking about burners, I was like, what the fuck is a burner? And then I've come to realize later on down the road, it's just anything that you don't care about.
Yeah.
Could be a burner.
So I bought when the FIFA stuff was going, I think I bought 2 or 3 packets of something. I ended up with 1 pass, which was cool. I sold that and got my money back, and I had all the rest of them I just kept as burners, which came in handy. But I kept winning stuff on Ben's channel and swapping them out for his map assets, and I ran out of burners. I'm like, that's a good problem to have. I need more burners.
Yeah, so just use burners, and if you can find somebody that has a cheap property that's willing to. What up, JP?
It requires trust, and that's the problem.
Yes.
The problem it's very hard when you don't know the other player. People have been burnt. Certainly proceed with caution, or find a middle person to do the swaps with, to do the swap for you that you both trust. But
right. Here's another question up here. If I sell all my properties, can I get cash back for all props and my accumul need to cash out and move on, unfortunately? If I sell all my properties, can I get cash back? I mean, yeah, technically, if you find somebody that's willing to buy them.
That's super annoying that you can't click on their name and then go to their account, DM them directly from that message. I'd like to see that function.
Oh, wait. Can I? What is this? You can. View profile.
Oh, okay. So you have to click the icon, not the name.
Yeah, the icon.
Oh, you can message him. Sweet. So you can send a direct message to that person. Oh, I like that idea. That
makes that way easier. Hey, if you want to sell some shit to me, I'll take it.
Short answer is the current UpX to cash ratio in Upland, depending on the property you have, is probably about 30%.
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words, you've got a 10,000 UpX property mint, sell it for about $3.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't sell for any less than that, so it has to be $3.
Yeah. But again, if you've got a 30,000 UpX property, you can sell it for $10. You're not going to get much more than that. Unless it's a really good collection, you might get more. But even rare collections are selling under for USD. So your ultra rare is probably your only real bet at getting more than a mint price for it. Which is great if you believe in Upland and you think better days are ahead. That's a great time to be getting involved in investing.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you're looking to just get out of the game, I mean, just drop the floor. I know that's a controversial statement.
Don't go there.
But just drop the floor if you're looking to cash out, man. Just do what you got to do. Let's see here.
Actually, there's one that I can't see borders on my phone. Please help. There is some sort of bug in the game that if you go, I found it at least. If I go into a shop or a profile or something like that, it's a bit further up. Often the borders will disappear. The only way you can fix that is to refresh. If you're on an app, you can probably shut it down and reopen it. If you're on a PC, refresh the page and then the borders reappear. It's a weird bug, but
it's really annoying at times.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens on my phone and I just have to like close out the whole app and then
see. I have two open when I'm treasure hunting. I have like a normal web page open because I can still collect sends on the PC, and I'll have all the borders on for that. And if a new property comes up for sale, I'll look at where it is and stuff like that. And if I go in to buy something, it can disappear and it gets a little bit annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And then I treasure hunt on a emulator, so that's like a mobile phone connection to the PC, which is very laggy and very annoying. And with that one, you turn off everything, so I don't have anything turned on, including borders, just to try and streamline. Any treasure hunt will do the same. We'll just try and reduce the amount of information that needs to be downloaded, so they can load the properties faster.
Yeah, the very few times I do treasure hunting, which is when I'm in Detroit, that's where I have my unofficial, well, that just happens to be where I have a lot of properties in one area, and I'm like, oh fuck it, this will be my treasure hunting place. I try to turn off everything. I don't want to see anything but what I'm after.
Yeah, that's what gets me. I mean, I guess there's probably a lot of novice hunters that'll just hunt with all the stuff on, but you get all these map assets which are targets to land there because it's a cheaper send. It's a good idea.
Yeah,
and maybe there's enough of the what I wouldn't call them professional hunters, but the hardcore type hunters that makes that profitable. But when you consider how much UPEX you got to spend to buy all these and then put more on your properties, I just can't see the value in it. But each of their own. Certainly not going to say it's a good idea. I like the option, and if you got the boxes, start off with those boxes, and if you got them and you're not using them or something, that's not a bad idea. But
yeah,
I've never done it, and I seem to get just as many sends on my properties as people next door to me that have the targets on them. So I don't know that it's.
Yeah, I've never done it either. I mean, like I said, like you were saying, it seems like a good idea. I don't hate the idea at all. But for me, like if I'm going to buy a map asset, I'm going to put it on my property. I want either one, I'm going to get it for free, or it's going to be something I think is really, really cool. Like I just happened to see these penguin, fucking steampunk penguin looking robot things the other day. I almost pulled the trigger on. I just didn't because I just bought a go-kart. But those things look rad. I was like, I kind of want one of these. But I don't necessarily want stuff on my property that's just like a target. I don't know. I don't know. I want it to look cool, not, I don't know, functional. I'm gonna choose aesthetics over functionality because I'm bougie. What other things we got in here?
All right, so I'm probably a fair bit higher than you. Someone's just put in here, hello, I'm selling a house at 534 Oak Street, Stockton, only 99.99 UPEX, which seems high for Stockton. This property is only 4 blocks away from City Hall. That's important information, though. That can be.
Yeah.
Not that you go to City Hall much, but.
Oh, I saw this one this morning. I was looking at this morning. Actually, I thought that was a decent price. I think, especially one so close to City Hall.
If it's close enough that it hits, like, it discovers the City Hall, and you put your send fee down to minimum, which is only going to be 5 at Stockton, you could get some sends to you because City Halls are always default sends fees. So, a property, if you get the right property in the right place with the minimum send fees, it can make a lot more than what the UPEX earnings for that property are. Well, you can't copy and paste from there, can you?
No, I tried.
4 blocks, not 4 houses. Someone bought it anyway.
No, that's not. What the fuck? Oh, is it? Sometimes this is a glitch I have sometimes, which really pisses me off. So
try treasure hunting, and that happens a lot.
Okay, it worked this time, but sometimes I'll click it and it will be like, I don't know, like way off to the right or something. It won't let me click on the thing that I want. Who is this? This is not the same.
No, it's already been bought.
Somebody bought it.
Green, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. I'm having a brain fart. It would have been green, but where's City Hall?
Actually, there's a question.
Oh, okay.
Where's the Father's Day block explorers? Good point. That would normally do
it.
Yeah,
that was one of the things. So I was telling you earlier that I made a video that I just did not post because for reasons. But yeah, Father's Day. Where the fuck is the Father's Day stuff? Why are we a bunch of forgettable people? They make a whole hubbub about Mother's Day, and then fathers get shit on.
Well, I'd argue and say, well, it's not Father's Day because even though it is in US and I think England, my missus is English, so she had to ring her father and wish him the best. It's not in Australia. It wasn't in Australia. I think ours is later in the year. I think ours is
it's not a universal thing?
No.
Oh my God. I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah. Question further up, and this is so not helpful. Why I can't use Spark? What I have? Hello, SOS.
Lay off the sauce.
Hey, hang on. Let's go look at the account.
Oh, I saw this one. Yeah, from Love.
Yeah, we can't look at the Spark they have though. They're only a visitor. They're probably only got 0.01 Spark.
Probably don't have enough to do anything with.
You don't even have the minimum for the minimum build, so
no, that's why.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
Yeah, I find myself like laughing and making fun of these people, but then I start to think, I'm like, oh, English is not their first language. So, because like you see sparks, and you're like, well, there's no such thing as sparks. But if you're trying to, I know English is a hard language to learn. Spark, there's no plural for spark. Spark is plural. But if you're trying to learn English and you think throwing an S on it makes it plural. Anyway, don't need to get into I don't know, whatever you call, what is September? Oh, September's Father's Day.
For us, I think it's September. I think it's
anyway
in September.
But yeah, I would assume I'm again assuming this is a she. It could be a he. It could be a they. I don't know. But
I was right with the September, but it's the first Sunday of September, not the last.
I wonder why there's. I guess I've never thought that there wasn't like a Father's Day wasn't like a universal holiday across the board. But that just goes to show how dumb we are over here in the States sometimes. Don't think about other people. That's why they can't seem to get city releases at any other time other than 9 a.m. Pacific time. I want to blow up a house.
I want
to blow up a house too. Honestly.
Imagine if you could. There's no.
Look, if there was a house,
you can demolish a house, but
no, fuck that. I want to blow it up. I think Mother's Day is the same because reasons. But look, if I could blow up a house, I guarantee you I would. If I wouldn't get in trouble and they said, yeah, let's blow this bitch up, I'm doing it 100%. I'm not even going to think twice about it.
When they announced natural disasters last year, I actually liked the idea. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a bit...
So did I. Which one did you vote for?
Oh, I can't remember.
Do you remember?
No, I can't.
Mine was aliens.
But I likened it to, like in Monopoly, you get that card that you got to pay property tax on every building that you have.
Mm-hmm.
I likened it to that. Like if you... Like someone that's got hundreds of buildings, that I don't, but if you had hundreds of buildings, like that could be a real issue with your natural disaster.
Yeah.
And you got to go and use your spark and repair them. Like as long as you get around to repairing them, like say within 12 months before another natural disaster came along or something. I like the idea of that. I mean, I can see why people don't, but just an interesting element.
Aliens. Yeah, I was kind of excited about that. I was also happy it was a joke, but there are natural disasters in real life. I think that deterioration of property can be a real problem, and I think it needs to be addressed in Upland.
Yeah, and then maybe you can repaint it or something at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's another whole.
Oh man.
Any more questions in chat?
Let's see here.
We're up to an hour and a half. We probably should finish.
Yeah, we can. I suppose. There's someone asking about finish the send chat message starter mission, but no matter how many messages I send, it just won't finish. That's because the missions are dog shit and they're fucking terrible.
Yes.
Like sometimes they work, most of the time they don't, and then in about 2 months he'll probably receive a notification that it worked, and then you'll get ready.
I only assume because it's supposed to be coming to the season missions that they're not really trying to fix it or get it working properly or anything like that, because they're trying to get that whole mission thing up and running for our season challenges,
which is supposed to be for this one, but they fucked up.
But everything, and that's not an Upland thing. That's just a real world thing. Everything always gets blown out. They think they can do it in a week, and it turns out to take 4 weeks. That's not unusual.
Yeah. Fucking, did you see what Ben said?
perfect storm. That was, yeah, but you've got enough spark. Like, I'm not suggesting that it's going to cost you 4,000 million hours again to fix it, but
that's the price of doing business, Ben.
Like one spark for a day just to do touch-up repairs or something like that, because a hailstorm came through and cracked your roof. Oh, hang on, sorry, that happened in real life, did it? My bad.
Oh yeah. That must have been a hell of a hailstorm.
He likes a bit of bandit. It's all right.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was months him getting that sorted, poor bloke. Queensland, they can get some weather up there.
Yeah, I don't know. We get weather here. Look, where I live, it's like real. I don't know. It's kind of mellow all the time. It's like pretty even keel. So like we did have a pretty bad winter like 4 years ago, and that was the worst I've ever seen it. We lost power for like 3 days. It was a whole ordeal. I kind of liked it personally. Everybody else was freaking out. There was no power, fucking ice everywhere and snow, and it was a big old problem. People were freaking out left and right. And I was like, I'm cool, man. As long as I got my fireplace and my camp stove, it gave me all the good reasons. My wife always gave me a hard time. Why do you have all this camping stuff? And you never go camping. I'm like, I do go camping. I don't go camping as much as I want. But you bet your ass she was super fucking happy when I pulled all that shit out. And we were eating like kings for those 3 days when everybody else was freezing their ass off and wondering how they're going to get to the store. I'm like, look, I got 3 cook stoves right here and a bunch of MREs. We're eating good.
I don't have all that, but I do have a generator, so I don't know.
Yeah, I went and got a generator later that day, but that's not the point.
I'd like to see it. But anyway, that's enough. Like I said, someone with a lot of properties would find an issue with it. But again, Ben's got enough.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But I think somebody with a lot of properties, they deserve to have their shit fucked up just a little bit. Just for
but
fun.
We're talking like a storm comes through and does 1% damage. So if it had like 20,000 spark hours, you only have to fix 200 spark hours. Or, that's probably the extreme.
It'll give you something to do in the game.
A reason to play is to log in, collect your earnings, and fuck off again.
This game is meant to be played, not just watched. All right, let's see here. Oh crap, that's the wrong button. Anything before we fly off of here? Sometimes I like to look in the community and all the people I'm following if there's anything good in there. The Goldsmith posted a video.
Yeah,
June
so I
17th.
watched your stream before hours. He was just going over the Genesis Week challenge. Not Genesis Week, sorry, the season challenges. You really got to not play the game not to get 5.
Right.
I don't even look at them.
Blue Rain's got some a variety legit shop in Upland just opened their first and only variety legit shop. In the Real Node LA. Stop by to shop or list. Cool. Actually, I think I don't know if you saw Blue Rain's got this game show thing that they're gonna do, and I signed up. I said, "Yeah, sign me up. I'll do that."
Okay. Is that like the one that you did at G Week?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. I heard about the game. I heard it was really funny, and they left out said an awesome job. But of course, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Although I haven't yet watched Cheese's video, so maybe if I watch that, then I'll get to know more about it.
It was pretty funny because he had all the questions but didn't have any of the answers. They forgot to give him all the answers, so he's like, "Fuck, I don't know the answer to this." He's like, somebody would answer like, "That sounds good to me. Here you go," and then just give him like 2,000 upics, and then if nobody got, he just threw the shit into the crowd. And then people were just.
I'm at the opposite. I remember going to a trivia one time and they gave out the answer sheet to one of the players. It was on our table. So I'm going through and actually had 10 out of 10 of the questions right. But this guy had the answers and he was like, he just ticked them and handed them back in. And I'm like, all right, we fucked that up. We'll have to come up with a new competition now and end up losing. It was spewing.
Let's see here. Anything else before? Human Sims got banana guides coming out. So that's a thing.
Getting ready for Paris, no doubt. It's hard though. I sympathise. Like his thing is to do these guides, but without knowing the suburbs or the neighbourhoods that are coming out in borderlines, it's hard for him to know, what area of Paris. I mean, Paris is huge. What part of Paris are they going to release? They're not going to release much of it.
You got some inside scoop or something?
No, God no.
Yeah,
don't
how
even
would you
know that.
know? I mean, you can prepare, and I would like to think that they're going to release somewhere around the Eiffel Tower.
So this is crazy. Like, when I first started, like, if you said to me I wouldn't go to a minting of a city, I'd be like, "Are you fucking crazy? That's the best fun in Upland."
Yes.
2 years on, I'm like, I really don't like. And you hear players like TML go, "I don't go to city mintings anymore." I'm like, "You're crazy. Why wouldn't you? Like, you get a chance to mint an ultra rare, yet to still do that, by the way."
Yeah. Well, I think TML has mentioned a couple of times, like, he wouldn't even maybe even be in the game if it wasn't
community
or too stupid to win, or the community. So
yeah.
And he, I mean, I'm assuming it sounds like he doesn't play the game all that often. So maybe that's why. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of that, but I'm getting to the point now. Like, I don't think Ben cares too much about the releases either. Just more a collection. Because obviously, with cities not selling out anymore, you can go the week after the collection reveal and pick up a collection unminted, and that's more the way to go these days than trying to speculate. So I remember when I went to London when that first released and spent 2 million UPX and missed everything.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, I did not hit one collection.
Yeah,
not even a single one. I'm like, well, that was a waste of 2 million UPX.
I hit one. I had like 40,000 UPX. I hit one, listed it prior to the release, and like an idiot forgot to delist it, and then sold it. I made a profit on it, but I could have made a lot more because I had what's the red collection?
Rare.
I had a rare property, and I think I sold it for like 60,000.
Profit's still a profit though. You got to list those.
I only spent 12,000 to mint it, but I could have sold it for a lot more than that.
Maybe not. 5x is still a pretty good return.
Well, before London got nerfed, properties were selling pretty high.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Yeah, so I'm not even sure I'll go to Paris.
I'm definitely going to go to Paris, 100%. Why wouldn't you?
Sure. Why? Because I still want to mint Washington. I still don't have the properties that I want to fill out the web in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saving at the moment. I'm in saving mode. So I'm nearly at 1 mil. So by the time the next season comes out, I'll be well over 2. But there's collection properties still not unminted in Washington. So, and then on top of that, you can get exclusive collections in Bermuda that's unminted.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know. There's just something fun I like. Maybe this is the gambler in me. I'm not much of a gambler, but just
let's see if you say,
and then hoping and like just seeing what happens versus like getting the cheat sheet after the fact, and then
let's see if you say the same thing when you're up at halfway through. Where am I up at 30 odd million UPX? Yeah, you start to see the game in a different light. It's I don't know how to explain it. Minting can still be fun, but the speculation isn't necessarily worth it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Having said that, you can't be in, like, if you're not in it, you can't win it. So the mint and ultra rare, that's the one box I haven't ticked in this game, is to snag an ultra rare at a release. Haven't done it yet. Don't know that I ever will. I mean, everyone's switched on. They seem to know what ultra rares are before the city even comes out.
You can't win if you don't play, man.
So even if you're over an ultra rare spot, they tend to mint so bloody fast that you can't get them anyway.
Oh, I know. Unless you get just lucky. Like, I think Bermuda, I could have minted a couple of the streets that were like rare and
Middle Street,
Front Street, on one of the streets. Yeah, because I was like, I know that I had a good feeling that North Shore would be a good collection. I just couldn't. I didn't have enough UPX to get one. Because I'm a pavo, I think, as they say, or at least my daughter watches some YouTube thing, and they call poor people pavos. Anyway, I just didn't have enough, so I couldn't do it. But I was like, fuck, I want a North Shore, but I can't afford it. And then it ended up being a good collection. And there was another one that I was looking at. I remember seeing it, and I'm like, fuck that. It turned out it was a good collection, but oh well, such is life.
Hamilton would be the easy one to pick up now. Like, there's obviously stacks of Hamilton unminted, and that's an exclusive. So you're owning, I think, the best part of 2x, 1 point something x. I don't know, which is still a good return. So if you're looking at trying to build up that, I mean, I'm trying to chase down Ben. He's at 2 million a month. I'm nowhere near that, but I'm trying to chase him down. If he keeps crashing the floor, maybe I'll catch him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when he has to, like he's saying here, doing construction for his meat suit verse. Is that what you call it? Meat suit verse? Meats universe? Utiverse? I don't know.
Construction.
To do his construction. All right, JP. Have a good night, sir. I'm gonna go ass out here soon too. Maybe that's the move. JP's this guy actually lives in Salem. He lives in the same city I do.
Yeah, I've heard you mention that. That'd be pretty cool. I'm surprised you didn't travel to Vegas with him.
I harassed him about it while I was there. I can't remember what he said.
Everyone's got their own lives as well and commitments. So
yeah, he says he's gonna go next year. So maybe next year I'll have a travel buddy.
Oh, he didn't go this year?
He didn't go this year, no.
Okay.
But maybe
if I lived in the States, I'd be there every year, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, what do you say? Yeah, next year for sure. All right, JP, we're doing it, bro. We can go halvesies. Make both of our lives easier. Yeah, what do you say we there's Picasso. What's up, partner? Now we're getting people right about the time we're getting off.
Maybe they can join us next week.
Yeah, next week, every Monday, 9:30 p.m. Pacific time. What time is it for you, Swarley?
When we kicked off, it was about 2:30 p.m.
2:30
Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. 2:30 p.m. on today's Monday for me. It would be Tuesday for you.
Tuesday afternoon,
yeah. So yeah, we're gonna do this every Monday, God willing.
What we're hoping that we end up with a whole heap of people either in chat or joining us live and just chatting. And like I started saying at the top of the show, the idea is a bunch of Uplanders just hanging out chatting. As a result, because we're all Uplanders and that's the only thing we have in common, is we're going to talk about Upland probably most of the time, but not exclusively. We had a bit of a chat about poker earlier and a few other things. So open to questions, suggestions, ideas, but we want to show with no structure, no format, no script, just hanging out.
Just hanging out.
Bitching and moaning together or celebrating and applauding together, whatever it needs to be.
Right. Talking about whatever comes up. But yeah, I think that's a good. It's been, well, I don't know what I'm gonna say. Anyway, it's been good. It's been good hanging out with you for the last hour and 43 minutes and 29 seconds. But I think it's probably good. This would be plenty of content for any rando to check out. So
it can evolve. Maybe we can I used to try and do a segment on Ben's show, the Swaley's suggestions and stuff like that, which to me was no good because I'm a new player with ideas, and Ben's like, "Yeah, we talked about that years ago." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And we talked about this years ago. Oh, that's been on the cards for. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, so I don't have any fresh ideas. I just have the same ideas everybody else does. But yeah, we can certainly talk about suggestions and feedback. We're always keen to criticize, but not come up with ideas on how to improve. Not that Upland listen to us, but
hey, we can always rehash old ideas. Maybe we can put a fresh take on it. Who knows?
But back to the treasure hunting. Do 1 hunt a day. Just every day, do your 1 hunt.
Fine. While I'm going to bed tonight, I'll do my 1 hunt. I've done probably 40 hunts since the last time I've got a spark chest, so I'm due at some point.
All right. Yeah, but I've done 180, 200, best part of 200 hunts and not got a spark chest.
Fucking hell.
But I can tell you, actually, I'll very quickly end with this.
Okay.
I've got to bring it up first. This takes 30 seconds. After I finish hunting, it takes me 30 seconds to keep this updated.
That's what you said.
Now I've lost my. Where are we? Present screen. I got way too much.
Oh, let me. Oh yeah, you gotta bring your screen back up.
Yeah, I should have an Excel page open, but it's not showing me as an option.
Are you looking up your stats?
Yeah. I'll just verbally say them. So, as of the end of last month, since I recorded stats, and I was hunting before I started recording them, I've hunted just over 47,000 chests, and my spark chest ratio is 19.95. That's as close as to 20 as the ratio is supposed to be as you can pretty much get without being spot on. So out of 47,000 chests, we're talking about less than a handful, so less than 5 spark chests, plus or minus. So if you do one a day for 30 days, you'll get 1.5 spark chests every month, or 3 spark chests every 2 months.
Yeah.
And you're logging in. So if you get if you're doing Detroit, you're only going to get 0.01.
Mm-hmm.
But you're almost doubling your log. Like if you go to Queens or a tier 2 city, you're almost doubling your login bonus by just doing 1 spark chest a day. Sorry, 1 treasure hunt a day.
That's true.
It doesn't cost you anything to spawn it. Even if you use all 10 cents, who cares? You probably make a loss with UpX if you're using 10 cents, but you'll get that 1 spark.
I mean, yeah, I don't care about the sends as much as I do about the spark.
Yeah, but it's the UpX that you use to send them.
Yeah, I know.
But
it makes up for, like, when you get the spark, I mean, that's worth way more than the sends ultimately.
Yeah. And with the harder arrows, if you don't have many properties, it'll use more sends. But so a lot of people, I get the feeling I see with chat and stuff. A lot of people will go, I hunt until I get 1 spark chest, and then they'll hunt 20 chests and not get one, and go, oh, this is a waste of time. It's not worth it. Right. And I've said it before. The mindset of treasure hunting isn't you hunt to get 1 spark chest. You hunt to get a number of chests. So whether that be 10, you might just want to do 10. 10's the minimum fee for each chest. A spawn fee. So you might just do your 10 every day. If you did that, you'd get 1 spark chest on average every 2 days. So you might go 3-4 days in a row of not getting a spark chest, but then one day you might get 2 or 3.
Yeah, that would be an epic day.
I can go from my stats that 100% evens out. Like, as bad as it gets at some periods, other times I've had 4 in a row. I only had that once. I've had 3 in a row multiple times. 2 in a row is not uncommon. But over the course of the time, it evens out. So you might go, like you said, 30, 40, 50 chests. Yeah, so I've done that as well. Only once in 40-something thousand hunts, but I've 4 in a row. I was like, after I got 3 in a row, I went, wow, that's awesome. I can't do that again. Right. That's the first time I ever got 3 in a row, and I got 4 in a row the very first time.
Hey, maybe my time's coming. Who knows?
So, and look, again, like we said at the start of the show, it could all be for naught. Who knows where Upland goes and what they do with Spark.
We're taking Sparklet to the moon is what we're doing.
I'm hoping. I just hope they create a lot more utility for it, which they haven't yet. They keep saying they're going to, and they did for a tiny little bit, and then they go, yeah, you've got to have buildings on your collection properties so you can... So everyone's like, all right, we'll just wake up a micro house. Okay, well, that takes a day to build and it's done. Right. So we saw for a short period of time, the spark price has spiked a little bit for a little while there, and now they're all back to the bare minimum because no one's building anymore because they've already got the micro houses.
Right. Yeah. I mean, with these new cities and hopefully with the neighborhoods and stuff, they start doing these new builds, which they're talking about doing or having building specific.
Yeah, but they don't have any purpose. So you even you look at Bermuda, it can't participate in the ornament challenge because there's no ornaments for it.
Yeah, you're right.
So you have these new suburbs with these new buildings, or even the all these limited time ones like Queens had and was it Miami and whatnot. Tokyo,
yeah, you can't
there's no ornaments for this
because they're abnormal structures.
Yeah, well, you can if they ever reopen ornament buildings for UGC or whatever it's called, user generated, UGC. There may be players out there like Tosshead and D-Shack and those guys, D-Tech, sorry, not D-Shack, make ornaments for these type of structures. So it could happen, but why would they when they're limited to one city when you can make ornaments for other structures that can be used across the board?
Right.
So I'm sure someone will at some point. But
and they got the blueprint buildings coming soon as well.
Yeah. But there's no. My point is that other than this, for the structural ornament, there's no point having a building, factories or a showroom if you're trying to sell stuff. Yeah, but you can't decorate them. Meta Venture, but you can't decorate a Meta Venture. So once you turn it into a Block Explorer shop, that's it. You can't put anything there.
That's true. Yeah. You can't even sell it. You're stuck.
No, exactly right. Well, anyway, so getting back to my point. The mindset you got to have with your treasure hunting is you got to set a goal of what you want to do each day. So if it's you hate treasure hunting, just do your one free one a day.
Yeah.
If you wanted to get, say, do 10 a day, you'll get one spark chest on average every second day. And from there, like if you want to get one spark chest every day, we'll do 20 searches. It doesn't matter if you don't get one today, just do your 20 searches.
Mm-hmm.
And then tomorrow, do your 20 searches. And the next day, do your 20 searches. You might go 3 days in a row and not get any. I'm telling you now, I've gone 150, 200 without getting one. But it will even out.
Yeah.
I used to get frustrated when I first started. I'd go a whole day. Back then, I was only doing like 60 a day. And I'd be like, fuck, I've just spent like 4 hours or 3 hours hunting and I've not a single spark chest. It sucks, like blah, blah. And then you start looking at the numbers and go, oh, actually, for the month, I'm ahead of schedule. Like, I've actually had more spark chests than I should have. I'm like, probably shouldn't whinge.
Right.
Now I just don't care.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm looking forward to a day when I get 100. I do 100 searches plus in a day, which I don't often do anymore because I just don't have the time. And then I can post and go, look, I've done 100 searches and I haven't got a single spark chest. It's pretty rare that happens, but it does happen.
Right. What's the fastest you can get a chest? How fast have you found one?
Luck of the draw, really. The fastest is when you spawn one and it's already on your tail.
That did happen to me one time.
Yeah,
which is real weird. I was like, what the hell just happened?
And to be fair, it happens more I've had it happen a couple of times already in Washington because it's such a smaller city compared to Queens. Like it's 1/5, even less than that. Tiny compared to Queens, so it's more likely to happen there. It can happen, and same with competitive hunts. Like they can just spawn on top of you as well, and you don't even have to go look for them. And you look at the history and go, I found mine in 3 seconds. Everyone else has taken 40 seconds.
I'll be happy if I could get under a minute or under 2 minutes. I'll be
for
times where I treasure hunt and I won't even find it in the 5 minutes that I have allotted.
Yeah, look,
fucking drives me nuts.
Part of that's practice. Part of that is understanding the arrows, and like, even when you click on 2 different properties right next to each other, and one point's one way and the other point's slightly a different way, understanding how those two intersect and the angle that it must be at to get that sort of result, and then to be able to send as a result to that. It is a bit of practice and a bit of. I remember when I first started, I struggled to get them all as well too, especially in Queens. But time, like I said, even if you don't get it each day, like you spawn the chest, you don't get there, right? That's your search done for the day. It's only 1 in 20 chance it's going to be a spark chest. So 19 out of 20 chances you missed out, and who cares?
Right.
Like anything though, practice makes perfect. And the more you do it, the more you'll understand it, and the easier it becomes. And then if you get dedicated to it enough, you end up just building a bigger web, and you go, like, oh, I'll get one over here too. And like I started with Queens with like 50 or 60 properties searching, and then by the time I left there, I had 1,500, which is still not huge compared to some players, but
right, that's just quite a bit.
Yeah, it is. And again, I saw a player today put a post on tweet that he got 130 or 140 searches in Washington today for 10 spark chests or 0.2 spark.
Damn.
He has 200 properties in Washington. I'm at about 120, I think. But he has 200, so got slightly better coverage. So you can get that send ratio. I mean, it's just, again, it's how much time you want to put into it. But as I said, you come up with a plan. You work out what you want. I want to get 1 spark chest every second day. We'll do your 10 searches, and you will, on average, get that. Or if you're not really into it, just do your 1 free one each day. It doesn't cost you anything. Sure, everyone's got 5 minutes.
Right. I should be better about doing my one free one a day. There's no reason not to.
Yeah. Even if you're in a city that you don't have many properties, you don't need properties to do. You don't care about your send ratio. You're just doing one. Who cares if you use up all 11 cents to get one chest? If it turns out to be a spark chest, it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just got to get better about understanding the arrows. Right when I think I have it down, I then quickly realize that I don't. I'm like, fuck, man, I suck at this shit. I just want to rip my hair out when I don't get them. I'm like, damn it, I spent like fucking 8 cents to get this stupid chest. I miss it, and I'm like, I start getting the red arrows, and I have like 2 seconds left, and I can't get it fast enough, and I just want to freak out. But my iPhone's not close enough to throw, so I don't.
Maybe we can talk about treasure hunting more next week or another week.
Yeah.
But it's a very different beast. Treasure hunting standard to treasure hunting competitive are 2 extremely different beasts. I mean, I can do my 80 to 100 searches a day standard, but they're relaxed, they're easy, there's no pressure. So I kind of liken it to, I'm more of a marathon runner. Like I'll keep doing 100 every day or 80 to 100 every day.
Mm-hmm.
But these competitive guys will come in, do one, it takes them 20 odd seconds to find it, and then they fuck off again for hours at a time. So they're more like a sprinter. But they come in and do those rushes, and they get 25 plus searches in those 15 minutes. I'm like, I can't do that. I don't know how they're doing it, and I'd love for them to teach me how they do it and tips and tricks. They certainly know something about treasure hunting that I don't. But I can understand the arrows. I can make the most of the distances and understanding the drifts and making the most of my send ratios, stuff like that, and maximize that sort of things. And I find my limiting factor isn't what I have in Upland, it's the time I have to do it. And I don't want to spend 6+ hours anymore doing it, which I had been doing.
Yeah.
So now
that's a lot of time.
Yeah. So
soon maybe you can get AI to do it, and it will just program it to find it for you.
I'm pretty sure that might have been where the problem started in the first place.
That might be the problem.
I wish I was smart enough to have AI. I'm not a programmer, so I got to do it the hard way. In fact, and that's the problem. I've done everything the hard way, and like other people have got bots doing certain things for them and sniping properties and whatnot. And I'm like, no, I'll just do everything the hard way.
Yep, but you've earned it. You've earned your shit,
which is worthless.
And that feels that's what makes you feel good inside, right?
Well, what keeps me motivated is I envisage the day that I post a picture of my house on Twitter going, this is the house that Spark built.
Ooh, yeah. And then paint it blue and give it
maybe not built, because the house was already built before I moved into it. But you get the drift of it. Like I paid for my IRL house with Spark. Like that's the dream. Whether it happens or not, it's a different story.
Hey, it very well could.
I'd like to have that post one day.
Me
too.
That's what
keeps me committed to the treasure hunting for now.
I'm just hoping my meme coins take off and I can go buy my Lamborghini. That's all I need.
One? All right, last question. Which ones do you have? Just
Sheeb and Doge for now.
Yeah, they're old school. They won't go off. I'm not saying I have any better information, but I think the new. It's like they're like the Facebook of social media. So
I've had Sheep for a long time, and I you know what, I haven't kept up on like which ones are meme coins. I bought some Tron a while back. I'm sitting on some of that. I got a couple ones that I thought were going to be something that I don't know if they'll ever be anything, but
I know. I bought a little bit of Cock in You, so I was like, that's got that dumbest name, but it's just got that name, Cock in You, COQ.
Cock in You?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I heard that right. I just want to make sure.
COQINU.
Okay.
It's got that name that I could just see just taking off in the next ball run. It's doing all right at the moment, or was, but Bonk was the one that's killing it at the moment. But,
what's it called?
Bonk. That's the one on Solana.
Anything
Solana's killing it. It depends on where they are and what.
Okay.
It's like how long's a piece of string? If you want Bonk, it's on Solana blockchain, so you might be able to get it on some exchanges, but you can get it obviously through some of the decentralized exchanges too, which is tend to be where I do most of that sort of stuff. But,
we'll have to talk more about this, because I was dabbling with crypto quite a bit at one point. I've fallen off lately, and I haven't, and things have changed so dramatically since then. Like, anyway, but we can get into that some other time.
Next week.
Next week we'll talk more about crypto and, you know, more Upland stuff, and hopefully we'll get some people that want to jump on and hang out with us, and we can have ourselves just a wonderful chat at 9:30 Pacific time on Monday and 2:30 Australian Eastern time.
Yeah, Eastern, not Easter, as Ben used to say, or had it on his little thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Easter time.
Easter time.
No, Eastern time. So Eastern Standard Time. So we're in winter, so it's not daylight savings for us.
All right. Well, what do you say we do this again next week?
Done. We'll see you then.
All right, man. Well, have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go catch some.
You go to bed. I'll look forward to the drop sometime overnight.
Yeah, I'll get off work tomorrow, and I'm sure I'll be pissed off, and I'll make a video on my way home.
Exactly right.
All right, Charlie. I'll talk to you later, man.
See you, bud.